If I could change just one thing in most kitchens to make them feel more beautiful and more welcoming, I wouldn't touch the cabinets or the countertops. I'll change the lighting. Lighting does more to shape how a kitchen and the things that most kitchens actually get wrong. Not because people don't care, but because nobody ever explained how a kitchen lighting actually works. So today, let's light a kitchen beautifully from the bright work of the morning to the glow of a late dinner. If we haven't met, I'm Ariana Adireh Anderson, and I design homes and our team builds them. And lighting is one of my favorite tools. It's where the hardworking room becomes a magical one. A kitchen has to do real work, so we need honest, bright light to cook. But it's also where we gather at the end of our day, so we need that warmth, soft light too. A beautiful lit kitchen does both and moves gracefully between them. Here's something I've learned after doing this for years. When a client walks into a finished kitchen and they say it just feels good, and they can't quite say why, 9 times out of 10, it's lighting. They respond to. They notice the beautiful stone and the pretty cabinets, but the feeling that comes from lighting. So let's get to it. Let's start with the single most important idea, the one that changes a lot of things. We light a kitchen in layers. Not one big fixture trying to do everything, but 3 types of working lights together. Ambient light, the soft, general glow that fills the room. Task light, the bright, focused light exactly where we work. And accent light, that little touch that adds that beauty and depth. When these 3 layers work together and each is on their own dimmer, a flat, one-note kitchen turns into the warm depth of life. Here's the whole foundation. And here's why layering matters so much. A single light source, no matter how nice the fixture is, can only do one thing. It lights one spot and throws lights that way. So the room gets bright in the middle and shadows at the edges. And then everything feels a bit flat, like a photograph taken with a camera that has a flash. But when light comes from several places at once, from above, from underneath the cabinets, from the lamp, over the counter, the shadows soften and the room starts giving dimension. Think about the light as you love in the restaurant or the beautiful hotel. It never comes from one big source overhead. It comes from many small, gentle sources all working together. It's layered and that's the whole secret. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. Here's a simple way to feel a difference between the 3. When people tell me that their kitchen feels harsh, the reason is almost always that they're running that one bright ambient light and asking it to do the job of all 3. And when the kitchen feels dim and hard to cook in, the reason is usually that a task layer is missing entirely. The ambient light should be gentle. Task light should generally be stronger when you are working with your hands. And the accent, well, it's just quiet points of glow. Getting the balance right between these 3 is the most important thing. Now, the layer most kitchen missing is one that matters actually the most, and that's task lighting, right under the counters. So often all of the light in the kitchens comes from a fixture in the middle of a ceiling, which means when we stand on the countertop and chop, we're working in our own shadow. The fix is simple and wonderful. We can run lighting underneath a cabinet, washing straight down into the work surface. And then we can actually see what we're doing. The prep is safe and easy, and it's a bonus. That under cabinet glow makes the whole backsplash and the countertop look even more beautiful at night. Now, good task lighting is the difference between your kitchen fighting with you and the one that helps you. Let me give you a couple of details that make the lighting look even more expensive than just in a hardware store. First, we tuck the lighting towards the edge of the cabinet, behind a little lips, so you can actually see the glow underneath the cabinets and not the source of light. A bright line of dotted reflection of the tiny backsplash is a giveaway of a rush job. Now, a hidden light, so you can see only where your hands are, that makes it feel designed. Now, second, this is a place I love to spend a little more care. The reason is that it does so much more with so little, and it's worth thinking about when the task lighting just goes beyond just a countertop too. A light over a range, a light over a sink, and a light inside a deep pantry. Anywhere your hands do the real work deserves its own honest lighting. So no part of the kitchen feels, well, like an afterthought. Let's talk about a color of the light, since it shapes the entire mood, and it's worth getting it right. Lighting has a temperature, and it's measured in Kelvin. Cool blue light, the kind in the office, makes the kitchen feel harsh and clinical. Warm light, down around 2,700 to 3,000 Kelvin, is soft and gold. And it makes our wood and our stones and our food and our faces look much richer and more inviting. The warm range is what I reach for in the kitchens. And in the evening, the warm light does something even lovelier for us too. It actually helps our bodies to begin to wind down, where the cool light keeps us wired. So warm and consistent is the goal, and keeping all of the bulbs the same, well, it will create a better mood for the whole room. Here's a hidden detail that almost nobody talks about, and it's one of my favorite kitchen light secrets, and it's called CRI, the Color Rendering Index, and it measures how truly the light shows real color of everything that light touches. It matters more in the kitchen than almost anywhere. And the reason is we want to see the true color of our food. Here's where the chicken is cooked, how ripe the tomatoes is. We want our grocery, stone and wood to actually look generous. A cheap low CRM bulb makes all of it look flat and a little bit gray. So we look for the bulb that reads 90 or above. It costs not a lot of extra, but it makes a whole big difference in our kitchen and everywhere where we have our light. Here's what I really notice. When you have two near identical white kitchens where one is made of marble, look-alike, full of soft gray and warm veining, and then the other made of the same stone looks dull and a little gray. Same stone, different bulbs. When you spend real care choosing your stone and your wood and the handles and the tile, low CRM bulbs hide everything you feel and that you fell in love. So think of CRI as the bulb doing justice for everything else in the room. It's the least glamorous number on the box, and it might be the most important. Now for the jewel of a room, the pendant over the island. These do double duties. It gives us a light to gather by and add a beautiful sculpture moment above. The task is the height and spacing. We want the bottom of the pendant to be 30 to 36 inches above our countertop and space evenly, well, sometimes around 30 inches apart. Hanging them too high will feel intentionally and not that great. And of course, on a dimmer, so the light on the island can be bright for the homework and soft and glowy for that late glass of wine. A few more thoughts on the pendants, because it is a fixture people fall in love with and also the one that they most often get slightly wrong. Now, two large pendants often look more graceful than three small pendants all in a row. And we center them over the island itself, not over our stools. So they don't block the sight into the room or be distraction when we sit. And here's one I gently push forward. Put them on their own dimmer, separate from anything else. The pendants are the mood of the islands. And when you want them to be down and low and warm on their own, while the rest of the kitchen stays practical. That single dimmer is where a lot of magic lives. Let's be thoughtful about recessed lighting in the ceiling, because it is where a lot of kitchens go wrong. When a ceiling is filled with grits cans, all pointing straight down, designer calls it, well, switch cheese ceiling, and it does two unfortunate things. It fills the ceiling with holes and it lifts everything from above, which casts a hard shadow and flattens the room. So I use recessed light sparingly and with a purpose, and let the layered light under the cabinets glow. The pendants, the warmth from the low down light do most of the work. A kitchen lit from several generous directions feels so much warmer than one blasting from the ceiling. If you do use recessed lighting, and most kitchens do want to use few, use them well intended instead of everywhere. Place them over zones what needs that extra wash of general light, rather than grid match across the whole ceiling. Put them a foot or so off the walls so they glaze down over the countertops and the cabinets fronts instead of the glare from the middle of the floor. And put them on their own dimmers so they support the room without taking it over. Use this way a handful of recessed light sparingly and just make everything else, well, it will look good, which is exactly what you want from them. And let's not forget the most beautiful light of all of them, and that's free. That is the daylight. Before I put any single fixture, I look where the windows are and how the sun moves through them inside the room. If we're designing from scratch, I'll fight for a window over a sink because standing in real daylight while you make your coffee is one of the smallest joys in the home. Now, if you're working with a window that you already have, keep the covers light and easy to pull back, if any, and think twice before blocking the window with the tall cabinets. All of the beautiful electrical light is really there to carry the room after the sun goes down. Now, during the day, the goal is simply to let real light in. Here's a few more accent touches I love, and none of them really cost that much. A low light tuck under a toe kick at the base of the cabinets throws a soft glow on the floor, and it doubles as a beautiful night light in the house. So nobody has to flip a harsh light in the middle of the night to get a glass of water. A little light inside of a drawer or a walk-in pantry feels like a small luxury every single time you open it. And a lamp? Yes, a real table lamp at the end of an island or a countertop. A lamp in the kitchen is one of my favorite things because it brings warmth into a working room instead of making the space feel, well, like part of a laboratory. These are the touches guests never quite notice and always feel. Now here's a piece that pulls the whole system together. And honestly, it's where the luxury really lives. Controls. All of these beautiful layers only shine if you can adjust them. So I put them on an ambient light and a task and a pendant and an accent on their own dimmer. And then where I can group them into simple scenes. One button for bright, busy morning cooking, one for that low dinner evening. You walk in, press the button, and the whole room settles into the right mood without you even needing to think about it. That's the difference between having nice lights and having a kitchen that takes care of you. And you don't need a whole smart home to get there. Just a dimmer and a little bit of thought, which lights go together. The real magic, though, is a well-lit kitchen changes throughout the day. In the morning, we want bright and energy, and in the evening, when the work is done and the people are lingering, we want it low and warm and glowing. That's what all the dimmers are for. One room carries us gracefully from the busy bright of a morning to a soft warm at night. A kitchen that moves us like that truly feels alive. So let's bring this all together. When we lit a kitchen in layers, put real task lighting on a countertop, keep the warm and a true color of CRM, and hang our pendants at the right height. Use the recessed light sparingly. Bring light from few directions. Welcome in daylight and add a beautiful accent and put all of them on a dimmer in a simple sense. We end up with a kitchen that's a joy to cook in and a pleasure to gather in. And almost none of these is about spending more. It's just about understanding how a kitchen light really works, which now you also know. So here's what I'd love. Tonight, notice how your kitchen is lit. Are you cooking in your own shadow? Is the light warm or cool? And tell me in the comments the one light that changes how you make things. And if you're ready to make a plan or renovation and want someone to actually walk you through your kitchen and help you design your lighting with the right layering, reach out to our team because we do this every day and would love to help. Next time, let's talk about one thing that keeps a beautiful kitchen from ever feeling calm and how to fix it for good. Storage, and how to design a kitchen that stays calm and clear so that every surface can breathe. I can't wait to share that with you. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.